fucks with you, I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, I fucks with you. Just know that. Let's get it. Block Legend 7. Put some respect on my name. Talk to me nice. When it come to life, niggas can't match what I sacrifice. She get cold as ice, I let you stay loyal. I told you, right?
Greetings and salutations. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody is safe. Hope everybody is with their families, having a good time. Hope work wasn't too hard. All that good shit. Welcome to the Logic Lounge with Lizzy Jones, episode 40. Of course, brought to you by Block Legend 7. Shouts out to Block Legend 7. Shouts out to ING. Shouts out to everybody, man. I am at 40. Got 40 episodes. Too excited. Too excited. Too grateful. I can't even honestly express it in words, man. But we'll keep it at grateful. Keep it at grateful. So, what you gonna do with episode 40, Lizzy? I'll tell you. I've decided to bring up one of our homies that has been to the lounge, I'd say 3 times now. Their right-hand woman, known as Lizzy C. Now, this young lady, from what I got to research, is a definite problem, just like J Mac is. And of course, they've started a duo called FTS, Fuck the System, which I already know that's gonna cause all type of issues. So of course, you know, with J Mac being a good one, of our good associate, good friend of Fleazy, I wanted to definitely have a sit down with his partner. So they're both hailing from Ireland, and like I say, this is a female battle rapper from Ireland. That alone piques so much of my interest. I'm just excited to have this sit down with him. Currently waiting on him to pull in. I know the time frame is different. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Hey, listen, congratulations to you too, brother. I couldn't have done it without you, man. Shouts out to you, Block, because I'm grateful. I'm grateful, man. I'm at 40. I remember I was just at 3. And now here I am climbing towards 50, man, and I plan to continue to climb, man, until I just can't climb no more. But yeah, man, we're just waiting on the young lady to get in. Excuse me, so we can definitely pick her brain. And like I say, the time difference is, I believe it's about 1 a.m. where they are right now. So we're gonna definitely give them a second so I can pick her brain. But yeah, man, side note, I hope everybody's staying hydrated as well. It's a scorch out here. It hit to 99 in Chicago today alone, and they say it's going to be about 101 tomorrow. It's going to feel like 116, because today felt like at least $105, and I think it capped at 99 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's hot as hell, man. It's a trip. So definitely stay hydrated. That's not good for people like myself with COPD. You know what I'm saying? That shit is something else. One memento, good people. You reach back out to them. Like I say, I know it is definitely late over there. Second. But yeah, man, it's been a damn scorcher. Like, it's not safe for anybody to go out there. Now, I went out there to take out the trash, and I just felt instantly disrespected. Like, instantly disrespected. Like I say, for somebody with COPD too, that's dangerous. So all my people out there with asthma, man, be careful, stay hydrated, because it could definitely it could definitely damage you and do something else, man. Weather is absolutely crazy everywhere. But here we are Wednesday with 40, man. Finna do an interview with another one of Ireland's assassins. Some upcoming stuff while we wait. Next week, for the 30th, that will be, I'm gonna have an actual panel where I'm bringing back the guest that I interviewed, my niece, the therapist, last week. I'm gonna bring her back, and I'm gonna have my best friend Shy Nikki, hopefully Giggles be in the building, and we're gonna have a panel up, and we're just gonna talk about mental health awareness. Like, I'm gonna make sure I promote the hell out of it, because I want people to come in if they have questions for Caitlin, or if it's something they want to share. We're gonna do an actual panel where we just speak about shit that's going on, man, because we got everybody's catching it right now. Everybody is going through it right now, because some of the stuff that we're going through, we're all going through. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So, and that's something that's not talked about, man. A lot of people have to hold back their feelings due to what somebody may think, things like that. So I'm trying to not only build a platform where I have amazing interviews and get to speak with people and pick their brain and talk about their talents as well as their life. I want to do that with the followers and with just people that's on the web, period. I just want to make it a safe space, for people to be. And it looks like Lizzy C has came into the building. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to pull her up and we're going to pick her brain. I guarantee this is going to be a good one. Shouts out to everybody in there. What's up, Miss Dukes? ING, Young God, Shanika. Excuse the bug. Uh-oh, it's frozen. It's buffering.
What's happening?
Look like we coming back. Can you hear me there?
Yeah, is my internet
Yeah,
okay?
you're in now.
I'm
You're
acting up a
in
little.
now. It was pixelated at first, but I hear you now. Yo, first and foremost, Lizzy, I'm gonna say on the live, man, thank you for taking the time out for this interview today. I do know the time difference, and I'm definitely grateful that you took the time out to give me a chance to pick your brain, man. Uh-oh. Looks like it's still buffering. Uh-oh. Hold on, it was buffering for a second.
Am I back?
I can hear you, but the picture is kind of going in and out.
I don't. It's obviously like due to my life, it'll have to be down to the fact that I need to do something with the internet now, and it's like, nah,
Oh,
maybe next time.
okay. Well, I heard that clip, so we're going to take it for what it is, man. Like I say, welcome, 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 and thank you, man. So, Lizzy C, for one, you know how I know you are out of this world? Because you're friends with J-Mac. That cat is different. And when I did,
J-Mac's crazy.
listen, and when I did my homework, knowing we were going to have this sit down, I say, okay, I get it now. First of all, you see the battle that I put on for the promo. And I definitely looked. But come on, man. Come on. When you told the man he was a little Elton John and then said
You're blatantly thin. I need to watch my breath with my bars because he just might break with the wind. I say, okay, okay, we got a whole problem. We got a whole problem, and I got to
One of
talk
my
about it.
favorite
Yeah,
battles.
go ahead.
It's one of my favorite battles ever. Like the build up to that battle, we were giving each other like we were like in a meme battle online. So we both kind of knew what we were kind of going to say toward each other because we were both taking the piss out of each other anyway. And then the battle happened and everybody was like I was a complete underdog for it and like nobody like saw me as like nobody had me taking the win. Everybody had him taking it, everyone. And it kind of made me a little bit sour because I was like always undermining me. Like they're always undermining me. And then I came with like 3 rounds of like jokes and like things that could only have been said to him. Like I tailored it completely to that opponent, and it couldn't have fit any better that day because he was like in the whole battle. He was wearing an orange t-shirt, and I mentioned the fact that he named like his band Orange, and with Ireland and the history and that, like like the flag itself, like the green represents Ireland, the white represents peace, and the
Yeah,
orange represents England. So like you point that out, and he was wearing orange. I was like, oh, you, an Irishman, named your group Orange, and then I pulled his jumper, and then the whole who do you think you're stepping on, you little Elton John? He was wearing the glasses. I was like, yes, he stepped right into it. Like I was like, thank God, because it played right into my plan. And it's one of my favorite battles that I've ever done because I look back at it and we both have a really good time in it. Whereas like a lot of my battles, it's just like I have a lot of fun and my opponent usually like isn't as up to par as me, or they're not the same, or like they don't. We're not both on the same level all at the same time, like the whole way through the battle. But I think me and him, we're so consistent, and the battle is so close, and we're two friends having a laugh compared to like me actually not kind of
yeah.
liking someone I'm battling, because that's a whole different me. I can be quite cruel, like at the same time as being funny and pure Irish with it.
I
You know what I
do,
mean?
man. I do, which leads me to the question, man. Now, like, give me a little background. You born and raised in Ireland, right? Are you from the same area as
Yeah.
J Mac, or you in a different area of
No,
Ireland?
I'm originally from the south of Ireland, and I'm actually an Irish traveller too. I'm not quite sure if you'd know what that is, but it's like we're like gypsies, we're like an ethnic minority in Ireland, but um, it wouldn't be like we're not really known like around the world as like it wouldn't be known like in America or in like Australia and everywhere what an Irish traveller is. But if you were to go as far as England and like France and places like that, they are actually really known because France have gypsies and they have their own things like that as well. But if you look us up, we have our own language, our own cultures, we have our own ways of doing things, and we kind of have a nomadic lifestyle. So like prefer to live off the land and like you know what I mean, like live in like trailers and stuff like that. And yeah, I come from that. That's my background, and like it's kind of cool like looking back because like my grandparents grew up in wagons and stuff, you know what I mean, with horses, and like my mom, like they never went to school, they never got education. So like me growing up, my parents were always like school all the time because like
Yeah,
they didn't get to go to school. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? It wasn't a thing for them. And like the generation difference and the culture shock is mad when you see it, like because my parents had only been in their 60s. So if you go back 50 years, everybody was in school, but they were still on
yeah.
the road, you know what I mean, doing their own thing. Like my mother got married when she turned 16. My auntie was one of the youngest people to ever get married in Ireland. She was 14 when she got married. And she had to get
Mhm.
permission off the bishop here, which is crazy. But in like in the traveling culture, you get married around about 18. Like if you have the permission, you can get married younger, which is I think is crazy. I think getting married at 18 is crazy. I think it's all crazy. Uh, you know what I mean? But my little brother now, he's 18 on the 28th, and he's getting married in November. And like I'm like, you're actually doing it because I didn't think you'd do it. You know what I mean? And, like you're actually doing it. Fair
Mhm.
play.
Wow, wow. Well, that definitely answers my question for the history. Now I got to go back to like the bars, man. What I had used for the promo leads me to my first question to you. How did you get into music, period? And the second part of that is, how did that transition into battle rap? Because you a beast, Lizzy. So I got to know this story.
Um, it's funny because when I think of, oh, how did I get into like rap music? My brother gave me the Curtain Call CD by Eminem when I was like 5 or 6, and he gave it to me in my Walkman, and I learned Mockingbird off by heart. And once I learned Mockingbird off by heart, it was kind of like a thing for me where my family would like point me out and be like, "Oh, do Mockingbird, do Mockingbird." And I started like kind of from that, and then I watched Get Rich or Die Trying. You know what I mean? 50 Cent. Kind of cliche, but I watched Get Rich or Die Trying. I wrote my first ever rap on my bedroom wall in my mother's house, which is kind of, it's really cliche, but I love it. You know what I mean? I love that just for the whole memory of it, because I wrote it like with the light of my TV on my wall, and it was terrible. It was like, why rap? Why try when you can't win? Why try when you can't win? Especially when you were born in the bin. It was terrible. But like when I look back and I'm like, that's where the essence came. That's where I dragged it from. Do you know what I mean? Like it was like just me by myself, kind of like trying to express everything that was going on with me and myself, and my love for the actual structure of rhyming words. Because um I got given like awards for poetry and stuff like that throughout school and stuff, and I was like really into poetry, but I was never very good at getting the words to match to a
Okay.
beat. And then I sat down and I taught myself like double time, and taught myself how to, come in and out of pockets, and how to actually, write bars and structure them. And my brother, the same brother that gave me the CD, he died, and I was going to give up rapping. I was going to give up writing, and my sister was like, "You started for him. You're gonna let it go now." And it kind of put a drive under me more than ever, and I wrote more and more and more and more. And then my mate was going to an event one day, and I'd never heard of battle rap. Do you know what I mean? I'd never heard of anything like that, and I got bullied really badly in school. And I got bullied really badly in my town for rapping, or for doing anything anyway. Like I got bullied like a ridiculous amount, to a point where like I just didn't want to do it anymore. And then I went up to an event. I was about 19, 20. I'm 25 now, but I went up to my first event, and I fell in love with it. And I just kind of looked at one of the girls that was there, and I was like, "Can women do this?" And she was like, Why do you want it?" Like, she was really excited. And I was like, "I'd like to try," like. And she was like, "Rap now." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Rap now." It's Kim Boylan as well. She's one of the main reasons that I still do it as well. She's a big part of my soul. But yeah, so she was like, "Rap now," and she put me under pressure right there, just put me on the spot, and I just started like rapping like a random verse that I could remember, like that. I was like, "Yeah, I wrote this and I was like 14, but
Yeah.
have it." You know what I mean? Like complete panic. And she was like, "We'll get you a battle." She sent me a battle in her nephew, which was crazy, and she actually stood on my side of the stage when I battled her nephew, as well, like to give moral support. It's one of the reasons I love her. But when I stood up, I choked. My second round, I started with a flip, so I flipped him because he was being really sexist. So I started with a flip on my second round. So the freestyle then pushed what writtens I had out of my head because the reaction I got, and I was just like, "Oh,"
Close.
and I
Yeah.
choked, But I was like trying to drag it back, and they were like, "Bring it back," and I was like, "I don't have anything to bring it back from." So how do I bring it back? But yeah, from there then I just kind of fell in love with it, and I always had support. Do you know what I mean? I always had a lot of support and a lot of love in the Irish scene, because there's not many women over here that'll do it. Do you know what I mean? And the women that have represented in the past, not for me to be um big headed or make myself seem better than them, but I am better than them. And they were terrible. And they weren't a great representation of what females can do, or what any human can do, really, in rap, or or battle rap at all. We had one other female rapper that I'd call good. Up until the past like 3 or 4 years, we had one other female rapper that I'd call good, and that was that was Temperamental Miscellaneous, and she has such a difficult name. But she was, I think she was great, but that's only because she'd write like very articulately. So like she'd write like about the troubles in Ireland and like about like Irish history and stuff like that, and she'd put it over, you know, like traditional Irish music with like a bit of a drum in the background to make it like hip hop, which was great. And she even has some music that's in Irish, and yeah, she's amazing. She's brilliant. I think she lives in Poland now. She went over to Poland. She's a DJ over there. She was a really well known DJ here before she left. But other than that, I had to show that like we can rap. Do you know what I mean? I had to show that like us as women we can rap and we should be taken seriously. Because when I first came into the Irish battle rap scene, I could tell that they weren't used to to women in general being good at rapping. Because the first reaction to me was, oh my God, it was shock instead of support. Whereas like when a good when a good when a good man stands up and he's doing his tryout, it's more like, oh yeah. It's not pure shock, you know what I mean? It's not everybody just going and their jaws dropping. Whereas like what happened with me was everybody's jaw dropped. And I've been battling 5 years now, and it took a long time for me to climb up into where I am, but I am now kind of settled in between upper mid tier and top tier in Ireland. Like there's when it comes to battle rap, I'm upper mid top tier. I'm definitely reaching. I've battled some of the top tier here and I've beaten them. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm always humble in what I say, but at the same time, don't give myself enough flowers.
No,
If
it
that makes any sense.
does because that shows your humbleness, man, and you actually you kind of answered my question in a way. I just want a little more elaboration because that's the first thing I thought. You mentioned that when you get on stage, it's ultimate shock, right? Now, the only thing I can say I didn't do that the others did, it wasn't a shock like, oh, well, she can't rap. I was intrigued to hear. And when you opened your mouth, that that alone is amazing. So as being a female battle rapper, right? You say that you've had shocks like that. What were some of the other struggles? Because I listen, the talent is unmatched in my opinion. And J Mac knows I'm gonna go and dig when I do an interview with somebody. And I looked, and even if I felt it was like, now I may not share that with you, but the talk would be different. You get what I mean? Like how did you stick 5 years in the game knowing that you were female and every time you got to prove yourself? What is that like?
It's not easy. It's kind of something that almost every battle I kind of battle with as well. So like nearly every battle I'm like always super critical of myself and super kind of like I need to be harsher on myself and I need to be harsher on my opponent. I'm being too easy on them. Whereas when I first started, I was kind of like finding my feet and like everybody was always shocked, but they were like, "Oh yeah, great." Do you know what I mean? Like she's good, but it was I never really felt like I had to prove myself until about 3 years ago, when Irish battle rap started like kind of like peaking, and like people, I had to battle people like Subrime, I had to battle people like Gwame, I had to battle people that were a lot more well known than me and a lot better, like in my opinion, better than me, and then basically they don't look at you. See, they'll never say that, oh, I look at you differently because you're a woman, and they'll never say, oh, I approach the battle differently because you're a woman. But you'll notice the same repetitive angles being used again and again and again and again in every single battle. That'll start to get to you, and you'll start to be like, do people genuinely think this when they use it every time? and being a woman, there's a lot of there's a lot of creeps in battle
Yeah.
rap too. Do you know what I mean? So you gotta weed them out. And um, I think I think stepping up and genuinely being like, look, you have to take me seriously, only happened about Jesus. I'd say about 2 years ago when I was like, I beat a former Irish champion, and I was like, this is it now. Like you need to take me seriously, because like what else can I prove? How much higher is the ceiling than
The ceiling, right? Yeah.
champion champion level? How much higher is the ceiling than this? Then people were like, oh yeah, yeah, grand. Gave me my flowers for a little while, and then it's not like they love to hate me because I'm a woman, but they love to hate me, and they don't have much of an excuse as to why. You know what I mean? It's not like saying that I have haters. Now a lot of people in Ireland like actually genuinely love me, and I'm fan favorite, and the crowd. You know what I mean? I couldn't ask for a better crowd. But it's like you'll notice in the comments, or in my comments, or on in the comments on the YouTube battles, and you'll see there's a lot of people that are like that will try and put me down, or will try and say this and that and this and that. And I did a couple of no shows, and I'll hold my hands up to them. About a couple of years back, I was doing a couple. I was going through a difficult time in life, but I was accepting battles in hopes that I'd be able to get to them type way, like. And basically, what happened was I wasn't able to, and they kind of put me down as like someone that wasn't reliable, or someone that wasn't, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
easy to work with. And then what happened was I had to prove that I was, and I had to prove that I was reliable, and I had to prove that I could show up, and I had to prove that I was going to be there for the fans, and that I was never going to stop, and that, you know what I mean, that I actually appreciate the platform that I had. And when you can see when I came back 3 years ago, there's a little bit of a dip
Hmm.
on YouTube in my battles, and you'll see when I came back, I came back very aggressive, and that's because of the amount of people that were like, "All right, fuck Lizzy," like, do you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't matter, like, she's not gonna show up, or she doesn't matter, or she's not gonna show up, da, 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 da. And I was like, fine, I'm gonna show up, and I'm gonna literally smoke them every single time, and nobody's gonna have any excuses anymore as to what to say besides my name, except, she's fire. I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? And that kind of like pulled me up, and I was like, I'm not letting them do it anymore. And with all of the no shows, like prior and beforehand, I gave, I gave up no showing. Even if I was dying sick, I've gone to battles when I'm barely able to stand. I'm as white as my wall, but I know I'm pretty white. Anyway, I'm nearly as white as the wall anyway. Like, I'm pretty pale, you know what I mean? Irish ginger and all that. But even when I'm the color of the wall, I've had promoters tell me, please don't. Like, I've had video calls with them that morning. Had them tell me, please don't show up for your own health. Don't show up. And I've gone, no, I'm not contagious. I'll be there. Do you know what I mean? I'm not contagious. I'll be there. And even when I'm not well and I'm barely able to stand, I'm smoking people off these stages. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm telling them, now, now tell me who's not reliable. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's not easy. It's not like I laugh and like I make a joke of it all the time, because it's a lot easier for me
Yeah.
to laugh than cry
No,
about it. You know
absolutely.
what I mean? So I make a joke about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, you can all like make a laugh at me. But I feel like when it comes to Ireland, I've represented women in a way where if like other females are going to come in, they're going to take the craft seriously, and they're going to look at it,
Mm.
and they're going to be like, I have to at least match that level. They're going to see my tryout and be like, I have to at least match that level. So I feel like I've done everybody a favor anyway, because the whole thing before that was like the level of like, say maybe if I could put my level like here, their level was like here. Like top level would be like here. When I started, my level would be like here, and then they were like way down here. And that's not even me being a a bitch to them. That's just me being real. Like they were terrible and cringy, and they couldn't rap. Like it was
Cringy.
it's hard to watch. It's on. There's one on YouTube, and it's labeled "Awful Rap Battle," and it's actually commentated by uh, it's commentated by an American guy that had just come
Yeah.
across it online. It's got millions of views. You know what I mean? Because he came across it. But yeah, he's reviewing it in a type of way where it's called Awful Rap Battle. It's hilarious, but it's two Irish. It was the two former Irish female battlers in Ireland, battling each other in a field. Uh, Great aesthetic. I battled in a field as well, but like, you know what I mean. Uh, they're like, it's getting dark, and they're like battling in this field, and they're just screaming at random rhymes at each other. It's hilarious. You should definitely like
I'm
watch
definitely
it
gonna
or look
check it
for it.
out.
When so you get it, so you actually get what I'm saying when I say like you have no idea what the standard was before I stepped in. I had to, like once I never knew like battle rap really even existed. Do you know what I mean? Until like I went to my first event here. You know what I mean? I'd watched as cringy as this just sound like I'd watched like Eminem's like battles and everything, and I'd watched that, and I knew like there was it existed in America, or that it might have existed in America, but I had no idea that it was like in Dublin. Do you know what I mean? Like that it was in Ireland. There was people just having events in pubs, and I just didn't know. So like when I found out, I was like, I need to be a part of this because this is definitely something that I could do because I love taking the piss out of people. I'm one of the most like I'm one of the most like I have to make fun of you. I can't help it. You can't be my friend unless you are okay with being ripped the piss out of because I can't help it. That's why me and J-Mac get on so well because we look at each other and it's just like, huh, yeah. Yeah. And then like we just leave each other off and we have certain looks for each other as well. I love that with us. But we formed a little duo too and like I'd love for him to we're gonna do on beat battles with each other, which is gonna be good as well. We're hoping to battle someone like them lot, someone decent if you look
Oh yeah,
into
he put
Irish
me on them. Yeah,
rap.
yeah, he put me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that.
And honestly, I see
But
that
yeah.
with that duo, man. When you guys release that song where you on the bench facing each other, that energy is dangerous. And that's just me being honest. It's a dangerous energy, and I can't wait to see the projects, man. Now, I gotta ask what you say you got a ripper. You can't so basically you cannot be sensitive and battle Lizzy C. You cannot be
No,
sensitive. So with
no.
that,
No, there can't be any like, oh, don't bring this up, or you can't mention this, or you can't say that. I don't like that. I don't like that stuff. It's kind of bitch made, like, you know what I mean? If you ask for me in the first place, you should know what you're asking for. I'm a horrible person in the in a battle. I'm fine outside of the battle. I'll be the nicest person to you ever outside of the battle. I'll buy you a drink. I'll do everything. Do you know what I mean? But once I'm in the battle, it's battle mode, and you're dead. Do you know what I mean? Like I have to toast you, you're dead, and that means I'll use everything that I
yeah,
possibly can
yeah.
against you. You know what I mean? I even brought up like the battle isn't released yet, but I even brought up one of the person that I battled, their gay brother came out to them and he punched them in the face. And like I'm gay, do you know what I mean? And when I came out in my culture, you're not meant to be gay. Do you know what I mean? Like in the in Irish traveling culture, you're not like it's not that you're not meant to be gay, but there's not many gays and it's kind of looked down on. You know what I mean? It's a sin because they're really Catholic. Like Irish travelers are really Catholic. So obviously, like in the Bible, it says thou shalt not and whatever. Um, but yeah, so it's like yeah, so it's the homophobia and that, but. I can't remember what I was
No,
talking
no,
about
we were
beforehand.
just
I kind of
descriptive,
get a little
but
bit.
no, it actually is perfect because I definitely want to know with your way of how you battle, how would you describe your style of rap?
Um, aggressive, aggressively funny, I guess. Like uh, I don't know, kind of horror, horrorcore comedy type way. Like I do a lot of knife bars. I do a lot of like punch schemes. I do a lot of things like that. I don't do a lot of gun bars because there's not a lot of guns of Ireland in Ireland. Like you know what I mean. So you gotta be really, you gotta like. What I don't like in people's battles as well as believability or like realness to actually who they are. And like if you talk to me before a battle or after a battle, and then like before you might see me online and whatever, right? And just like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like little tiny little look at her like cute. But if you actually meet me, you get my energy, like you know what I mean. You know I'm not just cute, like you know, like I could slap you if I wanted. If I wanted to, I would slap you. You know what I mean? Like and people get that, and you have to be real to who you are, especially in battle rap, because it'll be used against you, and nobody's ever been able to use the fact that I use a style that isn't
Exactly.
realistic. And I've done 15 battles, and not once has that been able to be used as an angle. And it's because I do a mix up. Like you can't figure out what style I have anyway because I do a mix up of them. It's like whoever I'm battling, I can adapt to them. I'm like a chameleon. I'll adapt to everything around me. You know what I mean? So whoever I'm battling, I'll adapt to their style and I'll do their style better than them. So it's like, right, so this is what we're doing. So I'm battling a funny man. I'm gonna be funnier than you. But at the same time, I'm gonna be me and I'm gonna say that I'm gonna stab you halfway through it. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna go back to being funny again. And then I'm gonna say that I'm gonna stab you in a really creative way. And then I'll go back to being funny again. And I think I just like I like the whole performance part of the aggression. You know, like when you're getting in people's faces and like you're able to like dance around them. I grew up as a kickboxer, like so I grew up as a fighter. You know what I mean? So like being able to step in the pit and like have that kind of like fighting energy around you with everybody, you know what I mean? Like being like go on and like people being in each other's corner. I get very hyped up by it. So like the aggression comes out so naturally in me that it like yeah, that's why I definitely just aggression, just aggressive. I'm just aggressive. Actually, the more I think about it, the more I think about my battle rap style, I'm really just aggressive. I'm funny at the same time, but the aggression is more consistent than the funniness.
I like that.
And you've actually just made me realize that, which is kind of funny to me, because like I'm just sitting here going,
So
huh,
so you're a chameleon in a
like
way, and that's honestly that's amazing. That's amazing in that world because you adjust but never leave Lizzy C. But you adjust to the opponent. That's what you just told. So you're like if you're coming like this, you're like,
yeah,
I can do that better than you do. Like that's your only thing. That's you're in a file cabinet pulling like, oh, this is you today. You know what I mean? That's different, Lizzy. So now, Braisby, you giving me great segues, man. What's the difference between, I'll say, Miss Connors and Lizzy C?
um. Not a lot, to be fair. The way I hold myself, probably, Lizzie C is a lot more professional and a lot more kind of like sought after and kind of who I'd put myself as like if I was to think about the responsible me. Responsible me is Lizzie C. Um, off the rails me is my normal self. How I can express off the rails me is through Lizzie C. That would be my best interpretation of like the difference between myself and my little.
Oh, it froze, come back. It's buffering. Hold on, get people. She'll be back. Oh, you're back. Okay. J-Back said they're pretty much the same person. Can you still hear me, Lizzy? Uh-oh, you slowed up a little bit. I don't know if you can still hit. Oh, okay, you're back.
Yeah, I was saying to my girlfriend earlier, do you know? I was like, do you know how it feels? I was like to have.
hold on, the connection cutting you out.
I agree with John Michael, says my niece.
Okay. I got the part of it. So is it like the reverse of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde as far as you go? And hold on, I think it's still buffering. Not sure if you still hear me, Lizzie. Bear with us, good people. Hold on, it's spinning. It's spinning. Oh, okay, I think you're back. Wait, I think you're back. You still with me, Lizzie? Oh, they don't want us to be great tonight. Bear with me, good people. I'm not sure if it's the connection or what's going on. Hold on. Oh, oh, okay. Wait, hold on. I heard you say, "Can you see my salute?" Ah, they trying to tell us we got this dope ass conversation going. They don't want us to be great. Excuse me. Not sure if you can still hear me, Lizzy C. You're just spinning right now.
Or anything.
It's something. Okay. I think you're back.
It hasn't timed out.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't want us to be great. But no, we were talking about the actual style and the difference between Lizzie and Miss Connors, and I get in a nutshell they're kind of one and the same, which is that's a good thing to be able to juggle because I can honestly say Fleazy Jones is different from Willie. You know what I mean? But I do try to keep them somewhat the same, but they're different people. Now, gotta ask this. We know J Max fan. Y'all have decided to make the duo. Fuck the system. I would like to know your version of how that came about now that we know J Max. How did Lizzy C and J Max decide to destroy the earth? And do I have anywhere to get shelter? Because I don't want no part of this nuclear warfare. Like, I need to know how did
Uh,
this come about?
it's a funny story because I went to the academy, like the battle rap event, the academy event, and him and his brother were there, and I was kind of automatically drawn more towards him and his brother than like anyone else in the room. So I automatically took that as a good sign. Then he battled or whatever. I don't think I saw his battle that day. But he was talking to me. Yeah, no, I didn't see his battle that day. He came up to me and he was talking to me about his battle. And then I saw him battle the event after. And I had a group called, well, it's still in my group, but it's called FTW. So that's why underneath everything you see FTW.
So,
It's fuck the world, freedom through air, freedom through writing, freedom through whatever you can say. You can put it through any abbreviation you like. We've got merch and everything out. There's battle rappers like Jay Murda and stuff like that. They're all part of FTW. But so from FTW, I was looking for people to be part of the Irish branch because there was only me and a friend of mine that were really like holding up the fort for it. And then I saw J Mac and I thought he was good, but I didn't want them to think he was really good straight away, so I wouldn't ask him after his like second or third battle. I was trying to wait, but then I had set him up with a battle down the line with a friend of mine, and just to wind my friend up because he was part of the group, I was like, I'm gonna make him part of the group quicker. So I text J Mac and I was like, "Oh, do you want to be part of FT Dub?" And he became part of FT Dub Ireland. And from there, it was kind of like I could see FT Dub Ireland kind of like flittering, and like parts of it can flourish really well, and other parts of it really just need to be left to They just need to be left to battle. And then J-Mac was the best person on the best person in the group on beat. And I asked him if he wanted to collaborate on like a song or two, and then we did, and then we realized that we actually work really well together. We sound really well together, and that we both had like almost the same like 16s that were just kind of sat up and waiting for hooks, and that our hooks fit in together, and that like it was like just meant to be. Then he came down to stay with me for like a weekend, and he ended up living with me. So I kind of like we kind of just automatically I felt an automatic connection to him, and then when it came to music, it was like so easy for it to flow that it was like, how could this possibly ever be a problem? Do you know what I mean? Like, how could this ever be a bad thing? Do you know what I mean? Like the capability that we have together, and when one isn't good enough, the other pushes that person to be better. You know what I mean? Because like I go to him with a bar for a bottle or whatever, and he go, nah, and I would be like, fair enough, fam. Or he'd look at me and he'd be like, what do you think of this? And I go, I don't like it. But he's actually so stubborn, he'll go, I like it, I'm going to use it anyway. That's just J-Mac though, you know what I mean? That's just J-Mac though.
It's so J, man.
That's just my Big Mac, you know what I mean? My tasty little Big Mac, I love him.
So, so we got the like, are we making this a thing? Like, can we expect a full project? Because, dude, the park scene, that's a teaser. That's a tease.
We've basically got an EP just sitting there to be recorded. We've got studio on Friday, and we'll have 2 songs recorded in studio Friday. These songs have been meaning to get recorded for the past 2 months, and the producer that we were working with kept pulling out from us, or giving us different times, or double booking us, and we were like, "You obviously just don't want good business, bro." So I've now moved on to somebody in my town, but I've known him all my life. We're actually really good friends. He's Polish, but he's a Rasta. He's unreal. He has he has the dreads, everything. He's great. But he like wears nothing but like the Rastafari
Hmm.
flag and everything. You know what I mean? He raps but he's got a Polish accent, but he raps like in like a like a Jamaican accent. And tries to rap pure Rastafari, and he's good at it
Hmm.
though. Like his accent is just crazy when you listen to him. But he goes under the name Buxilla, and we'll be getting produced by him. I'll be getting my beats made by him too, fairly soon, because he's an incredible producer, unreal producer. So like I'm excited to actually get up there. He doesn't let you smoke when you work with him. He doesn't let you do anything like that. You're not allowed to smoke or anything before um recording, because he prefers to get your vocals as crisp as you can. But you can expect so much work from me and J Max, so much of it, because as you can probably tell, my brain doesn't shut off easily, and he is another person whose brain doesn't shut off easily. And when you have 2 people like that, it's like you know that the content is going to be constant. Like it's not going to stop, because the other person is always going to come up with another idea. Like we have another video to go and record and get done in the next couple of days. We'll have it up on Instagram as a little teaser. But I think we were going to wait for. See, I want to just put them out like as little teasers before they're
Hmm.
properly recorded, and I want to do that, and then at the same time I want to wait for them to be properly recorded and actually put out music videos, because you kind of lose the excitement if you already have like a mini music video that already had the full song basically, instead of just a clip. So like it depends on how I'm going to market it, but I think I'll definitely let the audio out early, even if we're just building an EP. But we've got basically an EP, maybe an album's worth of material together already, and we've only been a duo for like maybe 3 or 4 months, not even.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, of course, you know I got to know with the powers combined, is there or will there be a Lizzy C project?
Oh yeah, 100%. I was meaning to get it out last year and everything, but I'm sitting on way too much music to just not do anything with it. I just need it recorded. You see, I live in a rural part of Ireland, so I live in like the countryside, you know what I mean? So around here you won't get many people that are recording rap music or producing rap music. And then when you go to somebody who records like guitarists and they record bands, they don't know how to mix and master rap music. So then you're looking for somebody to mix and master your music after you're already after paying somebody in the studio to record your music, when you'd rather just somebody that you can get that you can pay all at once to record, mix and master, produce, do everything that you need to be done, instead of going through four or
Yeah.
five different people. And then, like, you know what I mean, getting the end result after it being passed around those 5 different people, and it taking a lot longer than it would have taken if I had to just been that one consistent person. So I try and find, sorry, pardon me, but I try and find consistency in people that record. That's why, like, I'm sitting on a track at the moment called Circle of States. If you give me your, I should have sent it to you actually. If you give me your email address, I'll send it
Okay.
over to you. You can have a little sneak peek, listen to it, because it's not out
Okay.
anywhere. It's not out anywhere. Like, you can't get this song
Okay. That's what we want.
anywhere. Uh, but I'm gonna get. He was in this live a minute ago. Odin Cash. He also does the camera work, and he goes under Will Say Media. If anybody wants to actually look up Will Say Media, he's amazing. He's an amazing videographer. He does weddings. He also did a short movie here about knife crime, and he did it really well. Based it with a friend of mine called Craig Cooney, who's a rapper here, and he wrote the soundtrack, and it's basically like it goes to the soundtrack what happens, and basically it's explained through rap the whole story, and here on the video and everything for it. And yeah, yeah, he's saying he's there, but he did the video and everything for Vulture. It's brilliant. It's crazy. It's brilliant. I think it's called Vultures Online. It's on YouTube. Short movie on YouTube.
So we definitely gonna check him out. So then I'm
I think
excited.
so there.
So that means you got the JMac project that's in the works. You have STF, well, FTS that's in the works. And now we get to look forward to a Lizzy C project. That's huge.
It's kind of drill as well. It'll be melodic drill that I'll be doing, and a little bit of. I'm trying to do bits of R&B and love music because I'm trying to stretch myself out into doing like different genres of rap as well, like, and not just staying with the whole like same thing over and over again. Because I was getting kind of sick of writing drill. I've been rapping drill music for the past like 2 years, and like everything is always like in the same flow, the same cadence, same pattern. And I got really sick of it. And now lately I've been trying to write over like old school beats again, like 90s beats again, and storytelling beats again, and like love story beats again, and kind of go back to my roots and be like, figure out why I fell in love with writing music in the first place, and kind of start speaking
Yeah,
from my heart again. Because all that drill, there's only so much of the repetitiveness that you can do before you're like, I'm really sick of this and I want to go back to being myself. Like, I want to be who I was before this. Not that when I do drill, I'm not myself, because like I don't rap about, you know what I mean, like killing people and selling drugs. Like, I just rap about anything, but it's all over the drill. It's the drill drum. It's
mm,
the all the time that I hear in the back that kind of was starting to do my head in. So I needed something new. Well, not new, but I needed something that was new. I'm looking at As you're wondering why I'm getting slightly distracted, I'm looking at my girlfriend at the moment, like that
Mm.
around our room, looking for a vape that works, but she can't find one. And I think it's so funny. I just think it's so funny. Have you found one? She's doing a happy dance now because she found one.
That's what's up.
Sorry,
No, you're fine. No,
sorry.
no, no. Don't apologize, man. This is good stuff. And like I told you that hour would fly by, man. But I gotta ask my final question, like I always ask all my guests. When it comes to Lizzy C and the career and the projects, what is your end goal?
Um, I definitely want to be somebody that makes money from music. I want to be somebody that people look at and go, I want to be the way I looked at like Nicki Minaj and everybody when I was growing up and be like, I want to be like her. Do you know what I mean? I want young people in Ireland to be able to look at me and be like, I want to be like her. I want to be a role model as well. That's another thing. It's a massive thing for me and my brand is that I'm a role model. I have a lot of fans that are kids, a lot of teenage fans. Like one of my biggest fans, she's only like 12. I got her a VIP thing. She has autism. Um, and I got her a VIP to one of my shows there a little while ago, and she got herself a Lizzy C hat made, and she got herself a Lizzy C hoodie made. And I was like, it's really for the kids. If you look at my TikTok, you'll see an 8-month-old bop to my last drop, and you'll see a 2-year-old like clapping his hands and dancing to one of my drill songs. I really am here for the kids. I'm here to give them someone because I noticed for me, I didn't have anyone in Ireland. I could really be like music wise, I could be like, oh, I want to be like them because they're all acting like gangsters. Do you know what I mean? They're all acting like, do you know what I mean? They're not actually being a role model for the children. Whereas my end goal with this is to maybe have enough of a backing behind me where I can set up writing workshops and I can set up things like that where like kids will be excited to come to them because I'm there. And I mean, kids will be excited to come and learn because I'm there. Or kids will be excited, like, or I'll be asked to go to schools and I'll be asked to perform at schools. Like I've 17 nieces and nephews. Do you know what I mean? 17, 18 nieces and nephews. So teenagers mean a lot to me. They hold a special little place in my heart because they're like, a lot of them are my best friends because they're my nieces and my nephews. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I try and I have I have bars that are like um look ahead for the use that reckon the boost and examples you wish that were set for you. You know what I mean? And that is literally like in a song of mine. Yeah. But like for me, my end goal is to definitely if the profit margin, the only reason I want to make money off music is so I can start up workshops for children, which is kind of crazy in the first place. And obviously be able to buy my mother a house, I'd love that. Like the obvious reasons are there too, do you know what I mean? Like obviously to never have to struggle again, that'd be great. But being Irish, I know that there's very little chance of that ever happening. So me, I've learned to have side goals along with the main goal, and my side goals are at least get far enough that schools want you to be there, that children look up to you, that you can set a good example for more teenagers. Because there's a lot of teenagers in this country that are falling down a bad path and they don't have good role models. A lot of teenagers in every country that are falling down bad paths and don't have good role models. And I could branch out to everywhere. That kind of is my plan. Like I'm planning on being in America next year to battle. I'm planning on like I'm in London this year and I just want to branch out as much as I possibly can and get my name out as much as I can because I believe in me and I believe in the capability that I have and I believe in the fact that I'm meant to be something. I don't think that I'm meant to be stagnant. I don't think that I'm meant to just be like dead in the water. I'm meant to be something because I feel the electricity.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know when you can feel the energy, when you can feel the frequencies and you know you're not crazy and you know you're not out of your mind, but you know you're meant to be, you're a high
Yeah.
vibrational person. You're meant to be something that's more than where you are or where you're sitting right now. So I put myself in that position all the time. And it's like I'll hypothetically project myself into being there already. Do you know what I mean? And that's how I put myself where I need to be headspace wise in order to be Lizzy C in the first place. Because I suffer with anxiety, which
Yeah.
is hard. I mean, social anxiety and agoraphobia and stuff like that, and then getting on stage.
Yeah.
So like a lot of my anxiety does be based around, and a lot of me even blanking out, and a lot of me having to repeat myself is due to my anxiety as well. I don't mean to be like a pain when I'm being interviewed. It's
You're
just
not at all. You're
I
not at
don't.
all. Let me tell you, I love people to a point that, I do what a lot of people don't do is I allow people to be them. I know you know what that's like, where they're people, they tell you they allow you to be who you are, but there's a lot of judging eyes, judging comments. I never try to do that because I go off the old saying, if we all were the same, this world would be boring as shit. We're not the same. So you got to expect different things. So no, never apologize, Lizzie, because that's what I want here. As I told you earlier, I want the same person I talked to before is the person that I want to talk to actually on the live. So yeah, actually never apologize for being who you are because that's who you are. But man, I definitely appreciate your time, man. I definitely look forward to a part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like J Mac knows, because I want to know and I want to have a front row to see what happens for you guys next, because I know it's going to be big things. But before I get out of here, and I'm pretty sure J Mac knew I was going to do this, I got to get some bars, man. I got to get some bars from Lizzy C to bless the lounge with before we get out of here tonight, man. I don't care what it is. I gotta hear some hot fire, man. Give me some, Lizzy.
Do you want acapella? Do you want music acapella or do you want battle
You could
bars
do
acapella?
a cappella. You could do whatever
Let's just do
Lizzy
music
you
acapella,
whatever Lizzy
and I
wanna
can do like.
spit it. Uh-oh. It's spinning again. Okay, I think you're back now. Yep. Yep, you're back now.
Am I back? Yeah. Then, because I wrote fast, listen to the shit that is spitting FDS. I'm sick of the
It
system. Dead
keeps
these pests get rid of the victims. Yes, I'm a shepherd of the kitchen. It's not. It's
well, I think it
cut me off
paused
all the
on you,
time.
Lizzy. Hold on. Okay, I think you're back now. I'm gonna go ahead and mute, let you do your thing. Go ahead.
Can you hear me properly? Oh, it's buffering.
Uh-oh.
That's sad.
Okay, I think we're back now. Yep. We're good now.
We back? Can you hear me and everything? Oh,
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. Uh,
there's a lag.
I wanted to wait to make sure. All right, I think we're back. I don't know if something's coming in with the connection that keeps making it buffer, but I believe you're back now because it's spinning again. Are you getting calls or something? Oh, it's lagging. All right, understood. Well, look, no worries. Just know that when you come back, man, I'm gonna need that 16, man. I'm gonna need something. But I understand and I appreciate we were able to get through as much as we got through. So I won't force that to you. But man, I want to thank you again, Lizzy, for coming to the live, coming to the lounge today. I can't wait to see what's next for you. All my people, go follow Lizzy, man. Y'all see where she at the top. Make sure you follow and keep in tune with her and J Mac. I guarantee you, mark my words, it's gonna be a problem. You heard it from Fleazy first, man. But man,
I really enjoyed chopping it up with you,
um,
Fleazy. I'm looking forward to doing this again down the line when me and J Mac have music out together. Maybe me and him will both come on
that
with
that
you
would
at the
that would
same
be an
time.
honor. J Mac, no man, he showed me love since the beginning, and I plan to continue to do the same with him and his. So you are always welcome here, man. I hope you get you some rest today. Again, thank you for coming into the lounge, man. And we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, and I'm gonna end it how I always end it. Of course, this was Logic Lounge with Fleazy Jones, episode 40, brought to you by the great Block Legend 7. And I'm going to end it how I always ended, Lizzy. I tell them living off good instinct counts. So always keep your logic. We out. Y'all be smooth.